Hello, church, and hello, community. It's good to be back with you on this Tuesday Encouraging Word. It's good to have you back with us as well.
Thank you.
And I'm getting ready to head to our third night of Vacation Bible School at Calvary. And I was looking over the lesson that I'll be teaching the youth this evening, and I believe Brother Bill will be teaching the adults, and I think all of the other teachers will be teaching the children as well. It's out of Mark chapter 8, and this is the feeding of the 4,000, and this is a separate incident from the feeding of the 5,000. This came at a later time, and one of the major differences, other than the number of people, is that Jesus is primarily ministering to Gentiles. He's on the eastern side of the Sea of Galilee, and this is more of a predominantly Gentile audience that's come to hear him teach, and they've been listening to him for 3 days. They are hungry. They've been fed the word of God, and now Jesus is going to miraculously feed them physical food as well. And in verse 4, Jesus has let his disciples know that if he sends them away, these people are going to faint along the road from hunger. And his disciples answer him and say, "Where will anyone be able to find enough bread here in this desolate place to satisfy these people?" His disciples have already been present for the feeding of the 5,000. And so in one sense, this is another test of faith for them. It's almost like they've forgotten what Jesus did before. And Jesus says in verse 5, "How many loaves do you have?" And they said, 7. Obviously, 7 loaves is not enough to feed 4,000 men. So there would have been women and children as well. So many more than 4,000 people. But the thing is that Jesus is not expecting his disciples to feed them out of their own resources. And anytime that Jesus asks you or me to do something, he's not expecting us to do it out of our own resources, out of our own strength, out of our own ability. He actually wants us to recognize our inability to be able to accomplish what he's asking us to accomplish, or to be able to overcome impossible odds. Jesus wants us to realize, apart from God intervening in the situation, then nothing is going to happen. And so when we're in a position where we look at what we have, we then offer that to Jesus, and we allow him to multiply it. We allow him to do the impossible. We allow him to use us as vessels to accomplish what he wants to accomplish. And so that it's not about us. It's about what Jesus is going to do through us. And so it's good when we see our lack, when we recognize our lack, when we say, how can we feed all these people? Well, we can't. Jesus can. How can we do this with 7 loaves of bread? Well, we can't, but Jesus can. And he simply wants us to offer to him what we do have, and so that he can do the impossible through it. So he can use our lack and our insufficiency to do what is absolutely sufficient when Jesus is the one that's accomplishing it.
Mm-hmm. Today, while I was working, I was listening to, I guess it was 1 Samuel, where the life of David from his being a child, and he faced Goliath, and he faced that in God's strength, not his own. He was the youngest and the least believed to be anything of his brothers, and then he went to the temple when he was running from Saul, and God fed him through the showbread. Mm-hmm. He trusted that God would be okay. They were starving. He and his men were starving, and he tells the priests, they decided it's okay. Mm-hmm. I love that. It's kind of neat how that was tying in, because David was a man after God's own heart. God's heart was that the law was never going to be able to accomplish what we can do in our own strength, can never accomplish what God can. Mm. And what we see through the life of Jesus, and how the law shows us we can't do it in our own strength. But like David, a man after God's own heart, as we seek God's heart, he fills us and multiplies what we have, mm-hmm. to touch the lives of many. It's beautiful.
David, according to the law of God, wasn't supposed to eat the showbread.
Right.
But in that situation, the need was greater than keeping the letter of the law. The need for David to feed himself and his men was greater. And God's concerned about what's going on with the heart of the matter, with the heart of the law, and never intended the law to be something that would inhibit our ability to accomplish His will, but something that would aid us and, as you say, point us to the greater David, which is Jesus.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think in many ways the feeding of the 4,000 is also contains an echo of even David being provided for.
Yeah.
In that moment as well. So
yeah, because the Gentiles will be grafted in, and
right,
that really blew the juice out of the water.
Right. Good tie-in. Well, we hope that if you haven't been able to make it to Calvary Vacation Bible School for all ages, that maybe you can make it tonight or tomorrow night or Thursday night. Have 3 nights left. And we also hope that you have a great rest of your evening and week. God bless.